everyone, and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa Show with myself, Laurie Larson, the Wealthy LaLa, episode 175. You know that means I've done 75 of these episodes? Like, holy mackerel! Time flies when you're having fun. So yesterday I went to a motivational speaker. Her name was Darci Lang. Darcy? Oh, yes. And she's from Saskatchewan in Canada. And I had never heard of her before. Apparently, she's been speaking for, gosh, what'd she say, 25 years? Yeah, Darci Lang. Um, wow, it was really interesting. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, Kate, this may sound a little bit snobbish. But I don't get that it is. I get that, as we go along on our journey of life, we just become aware of what really works for us or not. So I guess if in this case, what sounds snobbish is what works for me, then I guess I am. That's so funny. Um, yeah, that's interesting. I've had conversations with friends about words and what they can mean. And, what if knowing what I want is what we call in this reality snobbish, but is it really snobbish? It's just really being clear about what works for me. And the only place that it maybe becomes something that I feel uncomfortable with is if I feel like I am judging others for not liking what I'm interested in. And I'm not. Actually, if anything, I almost feel like I might be justifying that I like what I like. So, interesting. I love when I learn more about myself as I talk. It's like, where am I coming from with this? It just gives me new insights and new places things I like to ask for. Because I really do enjoy being open-minded, for myself and for others. And I've also discovered that sometimes we can be so open-minded that mm, we don't actually ever even stand for something for ourselves. So, yeah. So, how interesting. So, anyways, she was really um, interesting, informative. She's been doing this for a long time. She was saying that she's going to turn 50 here soon. And she's been doing this for almost 26 years. Well, 26 years, 25 years, 26, whatever. And her husband used to travel with her when the kids were little, and he would be the mom, the Mr. Dad and or Mr. Mom. And he would look after the kids while she did her speaking, and then they traveled and lived together. So really, really interesting. You think about that 25 years ago, that would not have been something that you would have heard much about, especially when she's from a province like Saskatchewan in Canada. So yeah, I love it. I love it when you've got these trailblazers and then you learn about another trailblazer that's been there. And you're like, wow, like people choosing for themselves at all different times. Excuse me. But anyways, one of the things that really kind of opened my eyes to even more awareness of things I want to ask for in my world was she talked about she allows people in her world. So these are people that are either around her, friends, family, and people that work with and for her. 3 times. She allows them 3 times to, vent / complain about whatever. So could be another person, could be a job, could be, anything. And in those 3 times, she chooses to listen presently with them. And she doesn't say anything. And she says it's hard because with being someone who chooses the job that she does, she's got a lot of information that could support and help people. And she gives them that space of 3 times. And then after that, it's what are you going to do about it? And how would you like to change it? And I'm not going to lie, I love that. I'm not sure what number I would like to pick for my life. But I know as someone like myself who's chose a lot. I mean, I think it's 18 years now. Almost 18 years since I took my first, let's see, 19. Yeah, 18 years since I took my first class of any kind. The first one I did take happened to be Reiki, which is an energy healing. And then it just went on to, thousands of books and audio books, classes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so anyways, as someone who's chosen a lot, I have a lot of information too. And it is actually really hard sometimes to sit with, especially people I care about, which is pretty darn near everybody, because I can't seem to shut it off. But listening to someone complain about something when I know there's a different possibility is hard, you know? And there may be times, absolutely, when I'm judging them for what they're choosing. And I also know the majority time is that I care so freaking much about them that I'd love to assist them in what I know that they would actually like to have. And, that leads to a whole other ball of wax of, do people actually really want it? Can they receive it? Do they actually really, 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 really want to change their life or do what it takes to change their lives? It takes a lot of freaking courage. And I know that. I know that because of what I've chosen. And so, it's really stopping myself and going, can they hear this? Do they actually desire to hear this? And will it be kind to give them something that they're not asking for? Because we all know what it feels like when someone offers you information and you didn't ask for it. Whether they are correct or not, maybe you dress like a slob or something like that. And someone's just like, if you just fluffed yourself up a little bit, um, it would really, whatever, get you further in your business or something like that. And then, you know, that's just your opinion. What if they're not interested? What if they're not ready to hear it? What if the idea of dressing different is so intimidating for them that you telling them is just another reason that they can then feel more wrong about themselves? That's one of the things that I've loved that I learned is to ask questions and to ask other people questions. I do forget and slip every once in a while. And for the most part, you know, can I ask you a question? I'm having some thoughts. Would you like to hear them? Are you interested in changing that? If you ever are, like, I've got some good information, let me know. Giving a person choice to choose what they would like to change or not. Because we don't know what it takes for someone else to just get up on stage and public speak. Like, just do it. It's not that hard, says the person who does it for a living. And what I also loved about her comment with regards to allowing people to have 3 times is part of her gift in that is knowing how much we all need to be heard. Like what if sometimes it's just listening to someone complain, bitch, whine about their job, say for 20 minutes or a half an hour, and then at the end of it they go, oh my God, I don't think I can listen to myself that way anymore. I wonder what I can do about changing it. Sometimes we just want to be witnessed. We just want to be seen and heard for all of the good, the bads, and the uglies, you know? And how often do we judge our uglies and not give ourselves a chance, you know? And how often do we not want to see someone else's what we would call bads and uglies? Is we can't handle our own. We can't sit and be present with our own bads and uglies. We judge them as wrong. So as soon as we see someone else doing bads and uglies, we're like, stop, 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 stop. This is how you change it. You should just do this. Oh, why don't you take that class? What about this? You know? And the person wants to throat punch you. Like, haven't you ever wanted to throat punch a person? This show does not support violence. You know? Oh my gosh. And sometimes people, you know, we just want to tell someone who gives us their unasked for opinion is, you know where you could take that, and you know where you could put that. Oh God. And I loved some of the other things that she spoke about too, was even just she's here not to create an answer in your life in one day, but to give you a tool, and that you can take this tool home with you and go from there. And this yawning thing when I do this show, I just get such chuckle out of it sometimes. Sometimes I'm annoyed with it, and sometimes I chuckle about it. It's just like, I don't yawn. I get on this show, I start recording it, and there I am yawning away. But yeah, that she offers a tool, not an answer. And her topic was called, let me just look again here, focus on the 90%. And for her, the 90% is really, for most of us, we probably have 90% going really well for our lives, in our lives. And, maybe 10% or 10% of people kind of suck, right? And what part do we focus on? That was really the point of her, or the title of her speech. And she was very engaging with it. One of the things that I liked too was she got the people, got the crowd answering questions, with her. And I loved that she created such a cool environment that people felt what I would call safe and comfortable. I mean, not everybody put up their hands, and we wouldn't have time for that anyways, not in 2 hours. But I was really aware of the energy in the room, and there was a lot of men in the room too, and they spoke up too. And I love that. That's the kind of speaker, teacher, facilitator I aspire to be, and I feel like I am. That yeah, I enjoyed that about her. So at that, one of the last questions she asked us was, have you ever had someone, or what's the greatest piece of advice that you've ever gotten? Or what's your biggest takeaway from the day? And I know I talked about this a little bit in a few of my last shows, or at least one of them. But the one thing that I've really, really, really wanted to be, and asking of myself to be more conscientious aware of, because I didn't have like a one-liner or a what's the greatest piece of advice I've ever been given. Like, there's been so many, and it just depends on the day. But my greatest takeaway from what she talked about was really to be the kind of person at home that I show up to the outside world as. And I really get that that's where courage is. Like, to really be that person at home that I facilitate and talk and share and encourage other people to be, when I'm outside of the home. That is really, truly what I'm asking for now. I think it's really easy to poo on the people that we live with. I don't ask for myself to be perfect, but I ask for myself to be real and authentic and be like, wow, that wasn't kind. I'm sorry. And to really choose better. And to be aware of myself, to go, hey, hun, whoo, feeling a little off right now. I'm gonna go, meditate. I'm gonna go nap. I'm gonna be a little quieter over here, okay? I just think that's better for both of us, like really just be so much more self-aware and accountable and responsible for myself everywhere I go, that I can be that with the people that are closest to me. Whew, baby. That's a big ask I got going on in my world. That's a big ask. So she did talk about that in her world, that she loves to contribute to herself first, or that's what she chooses, is to look after herself first, look after her family, and then look after the world. And those aren't exactly the words she used, but I'd say that's pretty close. So anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks again so much for listening. And see ya at the next show, 136. Bye. Have a great weekend. Because if you are listening, it is a Friday today. And have a good one. Have fun.